Hi thoughts, welcome back to my channel. It's Ren. On the way in, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. It's the freest and easiest way to support your girl, so go ahead, hit the buttons. Thank you. I appreciate you. Specifically you. Let's talk about authenticity. So one thing that I have always noticed, and I'm going to preface this by saying that you can't please everybody, and I feel like I low-key say this every video. So no matter what you do, somebody's not gonna like it. Got that out the way. So keep that in mind when it comes to who you are as a person as well. So there will be people who don't like you just because they don't like you, and that's reason enough to not like you. Nobody owes you any explanation, and nobody has to have a reason to not like you. Yeah, it may be petty, but it is what it is. What are you going to do? If somebody genuinely just doesn't like you, there's very little that you can do to be liked by this person. So that's why it's important to be authentic within yourself and with your own experience, because the thing is that helps you weed out who actually likes you, or who's either using you, who's just there for the gain, who is just in your life just as a placeholder. Like, what I want for all of us is to have robust relationships, and I don't just mean romantically, but with our friends, with our family, with people that we actually care about, and that also care about us. So living authentically, and it doesn't matter what that looks like, because I'll say unique. I stopped calling myself weird, but I am a very unique type of person, and I don't have a big circle. I've never had a big circle of friends. I feel like at most I've had like 2 friends at a time, and none of my friends ever get along, so it's always me and this friend or me and that friend. It's never been me and a group of friends, but and that's fine, because I personally thoroughly enjoy myself, so I've never been the looking for friends type. It is what it is. But I will say that the relationships that I do have in my experience are ones that I cherish and that are purposeful in my life. And I don't mean purposeful as in I'm getting a gain from it, but these are true, authentic relationships where we actually love each other. Like, even if it's like on a friend tip, on a family tip, whatever the case is, there's actual love there. And so I know a lot of people, they say like, oh, friendship breakups are the worst. And I'm thinking like, how does that even happen? Because the way I feel is I don't argue with my friends. Me and my friends, we really don't ever have much to disagree about that it's gonna cause like a rift in our experience. Like, to me, that's weird. Like, if I'm not sleeping with you, I'm really not gonna argue with you because I don't care. Like, or maybe it's just the friends that I have, because it's so little, maybe we just don't fall into categories that betrayal falls upon us. Like, I don't know, but I don't have issues with friends. And I can't even say it's because I picked them well. All of my friends picked me. To be honest, they all picked me. But at the same time, I just don't think that our friends should be people that we're beefing with. And if we're beefing with them, then this is to me, an oddly charged situation. And so, but I also think that goes back to authenticity, because when you represent yourself authentically, you oftentimes don't attract people that are either going to be like people that are going to be repelling in your experience, because you're showing up as you. You're showing up without a mask. You're showing up in the buff, basically. Obviously not in actuality, and I hope you guys realize that, but you're really just showing up, and that doesn't mean that you're pouring out your heart and all these things, being vulnerable, but you are showing up as your authentic self. And so this gives people to love you for who you are. Now, when you show up with a mask on, or you show up because, oh, we're just going to be friends because she's pretty and I'm pretty, these are the type of friendships that are like, oh, my heart aches that we're not friends. But it's like, y'all built this friendship on nothing. Looks change. I didn't look like this in high school. I'm aging in reverse, quite honestly. Grateful. But really though, like, when things are built off of dishonesty and on fake representations on either side, they don't last. And so what we want to make sure that we do is that we show up authentically, because I feel like God isn't going to, I'm not going to say God isn't going to let people show up to shake you, because people will shake you, but God wants you to show up as you are so that he can send people to show up as they are. Because the thing is, a lot of times people may show up under a facade and then we get our heart broke. Or sometimes people show up authentically and we still may get our heart broke, but there was supposed to be a lesson in that. There's supposed to be something that we see that we can use to grow and nurture and build off of that. And so that doesn't necessarily mean that this person was a lying floozy. Why did that tickle me so much? But yeah, that doesn't necessarily mean that this person was bad. Sometimes things aren't meant to be, and I feel like that's probably more on a romantic tip. Like, I can't think of any friends that I've ever had that I've truly felt like was a friend that I don't feel like we're friends now. Like, I can't think of any. Like, even if we don't talk every day, I still love you. I still cherish your relationship. I'm still rooting for you, wishing you the best and sending you all kinds of good, juicy vibes. Like, I'm still doing all of that. But I feel like if there's been anybody who was once my friend who probably says that we're not friends now, I mean, I can't even think of anybody, but if this person does exist, I mean, it's one-sided. And it's not because I'm like, oh, turning the other cheek and being like, play it for a fool, because I don't talk to nobody. No way. So these would all be just mental conversations happening, because it's not like I'm out here hanging out with people and going places. Like, I'm really a homebody. I go to work and I come home. But my best friend, she lives in Ohio, and I haven't seen her in years, but that's still my best friend. That's still my best friend. She's my best friend. She's my best friend. But yeah, it feels good when you can just be yourself. I think it gets exhausting holding up an image that's not you. And that's also when relationships get wonky and wavy, because it's like, you can only some people can keep up lies for years, but eventually they catch up. They always catch up, and then that mask falls, and then their true colors always show themselves. That's always the case. No one has lived out I guess people have lived out masks their whole lives. Like, maybe people who have committed crimes and, you know, they're just acting like that never happened. I mean, I guess some people can be like that. But these ain't the type of people we dealing with, okay? This is the type of people that we surround ourselves with. We're surrounding ourselves with the type of people that, you know, we'd be happy to take home to mama or whoever our caretakers are. These are people you'd be happy to go somewhere with that you wouldn't end up embarrassed. You know, so yeah, we don't necessarily have to like everybody that we come across, and we don't have to be friends with everybody that we come across. But the people that we choose to have in our lives, yeah, we do need to like these people the same way they need to like us. Because what's the point of dealing with people that you don't like? That doesn't sound fun at all. Like, really, like, I don't see no point in that. And maybe that's just because I enjoy solitude, but I just can't imagine just being clicked up with people just because it's just something to do. I'd rather do a whole bunch of nothing by myself than to be clicked up in a fake friend circle or friendship or relationship of any kind. To be honest, my time's way too valuable for that, and that's the one resource that we don't get more of. Like, you can't replace time. You can replace money. Like, as a friend, like, we can go shopping, we can do all kind of stuff, and I can spend all the money I got, and I ain't gonna think nothing of it. But my time, I don't think that bad, so you're not about to waste it. And obviously that's the me now, that's the me post-growth. So I'm thankful for that, for the experiences that led me here, because hopefully me saying this now helps somebody who's younger than me, or even if you're not younger, hopefully you realize time-wasting situations that you may be in with other people, because you don't get this time back. You will never get this time back. You will never be as young as you are today. You will never be as, you know, like, time doesn't rewind. You can age backwards. But that doesn't mean that time has also gone in reverse. Time's still going. it may be on your side, but you got to be on its side as well. So let's not waste our time with anything that is not aligned with our purpose, our vision, and just our overall well-being. Like, and granted, you're not having people live your life for you, and you're not looking to these people to help your life be better. Any addition to your life is just the sprinkles on top. It's the toppings, but you're the ice cream. Like, you always want the ice cream to be the best part. You're the ice cream. Just be authentic with yourself, and you'll attract a lot more healthy relationships in your experience. And honestly, sometimes we just need to take a sit down and attract no relationships in order to see what it is that we want and how we want to move forward in life. So everybody should have at least a time period, even if it's a small time period, being in solitude where you can learn and grow and really learn yourself, find yourself. I feel like that should be like a requirement for humanity, that everybody should take time to be alone. And that doesn't mean like solitary confinement type of alone. Like, we're just talking about I'm choosing to be by myself so that I can XYZ. That's what I want for everybody. I got what you want. I got what you need. Yeah, so I got it. Be your best self. Be your best self for you, and then also let that overflow into the people around you, and then just build the best relationships and things like that. And like I say, that's coming from somebody who is a loner by heart, an introvert. I'm like an extroverted introvert. Like, I'm good with one-on-ones, but don't put me in a group, please. I like to not be in a group. I avoid group work and all. So, but I actually did find a group that I am so in love with. It's in the Feminine Energy Academy. Shout out Mia Dora on YouTube. And her whole group, her whole community is fire. And this is honestly the first time that I've had a safe space to be outside of my own safe space. So, it feels good. It feels good. Yeah. But not really. I'm very grateful for it. But that's what the beauty of authenticity is. I can show up here and these ladies gonna love you down. Whereas a lot of places you go, people are so unhappy with themselves that it's just like a cat fight. And I hate that. Like, that's one thing I be noticing, like, on other places, like in like groups on like Facebook, for example. Like, in these groups, it's just like a lady will get on there and like low-key be vulnerable, spoil her heart out, and everybody get in the comments like, some girl, you stupid. And it's like, is this what you thought she came here for? Or was she looking for a safe space so she could, you know, get through something? It costs nothing to be kind. It costs $0 and 0 cents. It really just baffles me that that's how some people move out in the world. Reasons that one of the many reasons why I like my solitude. I mean, beyond me just thoroughly enjoying myself, humans are fickle, and it's definitely no logic to human behavior. Shout out to Willow. Y'all tired of me showing up all cringy like it. I don't care. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. I don't care. Yeah. I think if more people showed up as themselves rather than an image that they want you to think that they are, the world would just be a better place. Everybody would be so much happier, because it's like, ain't nobody trying to fit into these imaginary molds. That's one thing I'm not going to do. I'm not even going to try. I've never been the type to try. Like, I will stand alone happily. And it's not, that wasn't even no confidence thing. It's just I just never cared enough. I truly just never cared enough. And I'm still low-key that way, where it's just like, I don't care to be liked. As long as I like me, that's all that really matters. Because you take you everywhere you go, and there's no getting away from that. So it's best we just show up authentically and be cute, because people, no matter what, somebody's gonna not like you. So why not just be authentic? Even when you're putting on this image and playing the part, somebody else still isn't gonna like you. So what does it matter? Someone isn't gonna like what you're doing. Someone isn't gonna like how you're showing up. Somebody's gonna find the bad in what you're doing, no matter what. It might as well be authentic. Everybody else is already taken. All these experiences are ours to be had as individuals. So might as well be authentic. Cringy, not cringy. If you're cool, if you're not cool. I don't even know what people say these days, but I just it doesn't really matter. Like, that's the beauty in abundance. It comes in people too. Did anybody know that? I didn't know that until like these last few months. It's like, oh, people. Yeah, that is another form of abundance. Just like the trees, just like the grass, just like money, just like water, just like all of these things. Just like the bread aisle. It's abundance everywhere. There's so many of the same thing. It's a buffet. Life is just a buffet of all the things. So why not show up authentically? You don't have to follow all the trends. I mean, maybe they're fun. I don't know. I personally can't imagine how fun it could be to see a bunch of people with the same anything that I got. I'm not about to jump on the bandwagon just because, like, that's the thing about being authentic. You don't have to like what everybody likes. And the Aquarius in me is actually on my side with that, because as an Aquarius, it's like we just naturally follow the beat of our own drum. And I've always been like that, because I ain't never cared to be like, I ain't never cared to follow no trend. I ain't never cared to have this, that, and the other. But it's just like, I think it's probably just because I cared more about enjoying myself, that it didn't even process in my head that, oh, like, somebody may make fun of me for this. It's like, oh. If you made it to the end, go ahead, leave a balloon in the comments so that I know that you made it. That's about to be our little thing. So let's get in there and put some balloons in there. I love balloons, so thank you. Or bubbles. Balloons or bubbles. I might switch it to bubbles. It might be bubbles. I like bubbles. But yeah, leave some bubbles in the comments. I don't know if Androids got bubbles. Do they? I know iPhones do, but if you don't have bubbles, leave a balloon in the comments, just so I know that you made it to the end. If you forgot on the way in, it's okay. I forgive you. But go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. It's the easiest and freest way to support your girl. So go ahead and hit the button.